Good morning. I just spoke with a client who had a huge breakthrough. He's been working really hard on his sales. He's been really working hard on putting really big deals together, and he hadn't had a lot of success up until now. But here's the thing, when you continue through the process, especially when it's hard, that's when you have your big breakthroughs. There's a great story about this in Think and Grow Rich. In the first chapter, it talks about three feet from gold or something, where somebody was prospecting and they were working and they found a gold vein, and then it kind of dried up and they were like, meh, I guess it's done. And so they took off and they sold their deed to the land, or title to the land, to somebody else who came in and hired somebody, and they said, oh yeah, like this happens all the time with veins. They disappear just because there's a shift in the rock. Just dig over here a little bit. Sure enough, they found it. They became millionaires at the time. It was a huge find. The point of the story is that often when we believe there's something going wrong, often when we believe we're not firing on all cylinders, when we don't feel like we're doing really well, that's the time to dig in. That's the time to dig in. So I'm going to ask you a question right now. What do you need to dig into right now in business? What do you need to dig into? Is it your mindset? Is it your morning routine? Is it your sales? Is it your marketing? Is it networking? What are you doing right now that seems to not be going very well? But if you dug in, you'd figure it out, and you will never have to deal with it again because you figured it out. I work a lot with my clients on marketing, and my clients they really struggle with putting in the work for marketing. Marketing is a difficult thing. It's not simple. It's not something that once people understand it, it can be simplified, but truly, it's an entire subject that somebody has to spend a lot of time studying. They need to be a student. They need to be educated in marketing and how it works with people. They need to learn how to communicate. They need to learn how to listen. They need to learn how to write copy in really unique ways and speak in different ways and find something that fits their brand and who they are. And they've got to find their ideal client. They've got to do a lot of work for that. And consistently, I find that people go, that's a lot of work, and they give up. And I'm so sad when I hear that, because it is a lot of work. But if you are willing to do that, if you're willing to push when it's difficult, that's when you have the big breakthroughs. So again, I'm going to ask you, what is it that you need a breakthrough in right now? What is it that you're struggling with? And you need to dig in. Here's what I'm going to ask you to commit to. And this is only if you're struggling with something. And this could be a relationship that you have. This could be something outside of just your business. But if there's something you're struggling with, first ask the question, how important is that? Are you struggling with it because it's not important, or are you struggling with it because it's super important and you're just not getting it done? And if it's the latter, if it's very important, then what I'd ask you to do and challenge you to do is to ask yourself, am I willing to commit? Am I willing to commit for 2 or 3 months, the next 2 or 3 months, to really make this work for myself? It's just a quarter. It's a quarter of a year. In the end, when you're looking back at this on 2, 5, 10 years from now, you'll look back and go, man, I'm glad I put in that work, instead of skipping over, because it laid a foundation for me to get so much more done. This client that I was speaking to yesterday, actually, he talked about how there was breakthrough in sales, how there was somebody, he spoke with a number of people, one was really rude to him, he just let it slide off of him, went on to the next one, and sold a couple of clients on big real estate deals. Now this is exciting. This is a good thing. This is fantastic. But he wouldn't have had it happen if he hadn't gone through the hard times. He's been working at sales for months now trying to get this down. It's worth it. What are you struggling with? Is it worthwhile? Is it worth figuring out? And then if it's worth figuring out, spend 2 or 3 months, develop a 2 or 3 month plan where you are going to simply focus on this area. Sales, marketing, again, relationship, whatever it is. And really make sure that you understand that, educate yourself in that, hire somebody good that can teach you this. If you can afford it, I would say you can't afford not to invest in yourself, right? Your own education. If you hire somebody else to do something, that's one kind of investment. And it's great, don't get me wrong. But when you invest in something yourself and you understand it from now on, now you get it. You don't have to relearn things all the time, which is fantastic. So do what you need to do to develop a plan, grow in this area, push through, and you will have a breakthrough. Enjoy your day.